Good morning to all not present here. I'm Ramya Devi, working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Engineering. Today I'm going to share a small article regarding Hadoop Distributed File System. So the Hadoop Distributed File System is based on the Google file system and provides a distributed file system that is designed to run on large clusters, like thousands of computers of small computer machines in a reliable, fault-tolerant manner. Unlike other distributed systems, HDFS is highly fault-tolerant and designed using low-cost hardware. HDFS also holds very large amount of data and provide easier access. To store such huge data, the files split into blocks are stored across multiple machines. These files are stored in redundant fashion to rescue the system from possible data losses in case of failure. And when it comes to the architecture of Hadoop, so this is an architecture of HDFS. So HDFS uses a master-slave architecture where master consists of a single name node that manages the file system metadata and one or more slave data nodes that store the actual data. So here we have name nodes, data nodes, and read and write blocks. So here first we will see about name node. So the name node is the commodity hardware that contains the GNU or Linux operating system and the NameNode software. It is a software that can be run on commodity hardware. The system having the name node acts as the master server and it does the following tasks. It manages the file system namespace, stores metadata for the files like the directory structure of a typical file system, and also it regulates the client's access to files. It also executes file system operations such as renaming, closing and opening files and directories. It also determines the mapping of blocks to data nodes. Next is the data node. So the data node is a commodity hardware having the Linux operating system and data node software. These nodes manage the data storage of their system. A file in an HDFS namespace is split into several blocks and those blocks in a set of data nodes. Data node stores and retrieve blocks when they are requested by client or name node. They report back to name node periodically with a list of blocks that they are storing. The data node also performs operations such as block creation, deletion and replication as stated by the name node. Next comes the block and replication. Generally, the user data is stored in the files of HDFS. So the file in a file system will be divided into one or more segments and are stored in individual data nodes. These file segments are called as blocks. In other words, the minimum amount of data that HDFS can read or write is called as a block. So the default block size is 64 MB, but it can be increased as per the need to change in the HDFS configuration. HDFS also provides performance through distribution of data and fault tolerance through replication and also the monitoring. So there is a continuous heartbeat communication between the data nodes to the name node. If a data node's heartbeat is not heard by the name node, the data node is considered to have failed and is no longer available. In this case, a replica is employed to replace a failed node and a change is made to the replication scheme. And this is the working principle behind your HDFS architecture, so in which the name node, data node and block and replication works. So next comes the working of HDFS. So this is the diagram behind the working of HDFS. So it contains 4 blocks in which the name node is connected to 3 data nodes. So each HDFS block consists of the block. Each HDFS consists of a block. So here the name node is connected with 3 data nodes, and then the data nodes is having the HDFS and the HDFS stores the blocks. So the block 1, block 2, block 3 and block 4 of the blocks has been replicated to the data nodes which is available and which is in turn connected to the name nodes. So this is the working principle behind the Hadoop distributed file system. So here we consist of the name node, data node and block and replication. Here the data node is periodically has given the feedback to the name node. Thank you.